We in the house. Let me see. We ready to get started, family? Make sure y'all get over there to Patreon. Click that link right down in the video description, family. Make sure y'all click it. Most definitely putting in that work. Support the general. Let me drop this on down here. That's right. We're going to be talking about some serious information today. What's going on down there in Venezuela. Yeah, what's going down with the rare earth minerals and all of that. That's right. We're in the house. We're in the house. Okay, let me make sure I get over here. Yeah. We talking about it, family. Make sure y'all get over there to King Sadie. Teachable, the 25 steps to the redemption of definitive black manhood. Man, I'm about to add some more to that. Stack it up with nothing but profoundness. That's all we drop. Nothing but profoundness. Nothing but profoundness. We're in the house. Make sure all the family come in. Sit on down. Let's talk about it, family. What's going on with the rare earth minerals? You know, I see some, you see, if you don't understand, you got to have a long view of what's going on out here. If you ain't got a long view, if you don't study global politics, international politics, warfare, all of that. Every department in the government, interior, commerce, all that, you should be studying it. So you can have a broad view of what's going on. Half of you niggas can't get out of, just regular local politics. You know what I'm saying? You can't see past the hood. But it's shit going on way on the other side of the world that could affect the hood, and you don't even know about it. You're not concerned about it. Motherfuckers too caught up with just everyday living, and many times that's how you become a casualty of shit that you don't even understand. Out of bounds. Way out of bounds in your psyche and in your everyday reality. You know what I'm saying? But it's affecting you, in a profound way. And so the thing is, I'm thinking to myself, I say, damn, what's going on, because when Trump came into office, he damn near already knew what was going to happen. He was already foreshadowing some shit. You know what I'm saying? That Panama Canal, he came in on that. We going to have to do something because he already knew the predicament that they was in. That fucking Greenland, what is that? Is that Greenland or Iceland? I think it's, let me see. No, it's Greenland. So he won't Greenland. But I think Denmark, because to my understanding, it might be some rare earth minerals there. You see, but it don't make no damn difference. They got the but. So that was one of the key things that they were discussing, that Greenland, possibly militarily taking Greenland from Denmark. Like, fuck y'all, this is an empire. We trying to say, and so y'all ain't got shit. You gonna have to, if you want to take it from us, you could try if you want to. You see what I'm saying? And so, in Panama, and to my understanding, what people don't understand about Venezuela And you know, Trump and them is down there. They supposed to be down there. Uh, uh, uh. You know, I think blowing up some for fucking some drug runners and shit and all of that. They've been blowing up boats and shit and all of that. And wow, you know, and but it's deeper than that. They ain't got no goddamn military shit down there just for no motherfucking no little speed boats and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you gonna send military fucking warships for some fucking, now I understand they might got some submarines and shit like that, but I don't think they can shoot no motherfucking and maybe I'm wrong. But what we have to understand is Venezuela, China is Venezuela's largest customer for oil. You see what I'm saying? China is Venezuela's largest customer for oil. And people got to understand that Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world, even more than Saudi Arabia. Yeah, let me see. Even larger than, that's right, largest oil reserves. Venezuela has the world's largest proven crude oil reserve, estimated at approximately 303 billion barrels. You see? Now let me see. How much Saudi Arabia? See, they saying Saudi Arabia only got 267 billion barrels. So Saudi Arabia is behind Venezuela. You see, Venezuela is the lead. So automatically, you see China is tapping into that. So just imagine with them ships being down there. Is the United States blocking those oil exports coming out of Venezuela? Could that be one of the reasons why that China is now blocking rare earth minerals to be exported not only to the United States but to the world? To the world. They saying they ain't letting nobody get it, because if that's the case, you know, the United States could give somebody the money and they could buy them for them, you see, and they could, you know, play the middleman in United States. So they saying, fuck that. They not selling it to nobody. You feel what I'm saying? So so we have to look at the deeper meaning of what's going on, because that could be critical for Venezuela. I mean, critical for China, that the United States is blocking, you know, exports coming, and they're gonna go in there and take that. They're gonna get Maduro up out of there. He's gonna go sooner or later. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna punish him. Now, if if I'm wrong, if I'm right, they might escalate on his ass to make sure that you cut them rare oil. Well, y'all motherfuckers better find some oil, cause goddamn it, you know, and you had to think about what the Israelis in the United States did to Iran. Punish their ass, bomb they shit up, because they probably was exporting to fucking China. Now, China's supposed to be having this shit that they call the Silk Road. Let me get y'all up here so I can see some comments. Let me make sure. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, they fucked up some of Iran. Yeah, it fucking they fucked some of Iran's infrastructure up. You see what I'm saying? To be able to export. But they supposed to be having that Silk Road, because China was kind of, you know, they was seeing that, these countries The West was gonna try to, get out there on them oceans, man, and block a lot of that oil from getting to China. You see, and China ain't ready right now to get in no all-out scrap on that water like that. You see what I'm saying? They ain't ready to get out there on that water like that and scrap for real, for real. You got to have some motherfucking some experience in that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't think they ready at all. You know what I'm saying? On that aspect. They could do other things like what they doing, blocking that rare earth mineral shit, and that just as bad. That's even worse. Because you can't even fucking replace. Thank you, family. Thank you, family. Let me see if I can. Yeah, let me see. Let me see if I can put a star on that. I had to see. But anyway. Yeah, yeah, you see, but if you see, you got to be like, cause I'm always thinking, see, motherfuckers ain't thinking out the box, you won't even connect them dots. You see what I'm saying? You won't even connect them motherfucking dots. But see, Saudi Arabia just signed a big deal with the United States. So they're gonna ride with the US, ultimately. They're gonna ride with the US, ultimately, because they know Iran don't give a fuck about Saudi Arabia. So if Iran rolling with Russia and goddamn China, ultimately, you understand, they're gonna back Iran before they back Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia gonna roll with the West, ultimately, because they created that shit. You see what I'm saying? Iran, they'll fucking around and lose out. Fucking around with bricks. So, but anyway, yeah, it seemed to be that, a lot of these events that's happening on the world, level and shit. And you got to think about all this shit that's going on in these cities. You see, they'll come in under one, they'll give you the objective that it's about where we trying to clean up these cities. You don't know what these motherfuckers is doing. You know what I'm saying? They might be looking for ops in this bitch. You see what I'm saying? Chinese ops, Russian ops. They ain't just they using that as the premise to go in these cities. But a lot of these motherfucking cities, they going in, man, and they're going to go in wherever they at. They ain't just looking, they looking for the Mexicans and shit and this, that, and because they not so trustworthy. They don't know who they going to ride with. Them motherfuckers could be bought out. The China man might buy them out because the Mexican feel the white man in America then took the land from them anyway. So they ultimately, if they think they could get on top of the white man in the United States, they might side with China. They might side with Russia. So they probably gonna put the boot on them anyway. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know what's going on ultimately that they could, man, because with that border being open like that, you don't know who in here. You don't. Did y'all hear about that one time that the Chinese had a fucking, I believe it was in San Francisco? They had a police department. They had a Chinese police department right here in the United States. Did y'all hear about that? They was over here trying to muscle Chinese people over here. Right here in the United States. Had a Chinese police department. Wait a minute. I think it was in San Francisco. Secret police station, the U.S. Chinatown allegations. Wait a minute, let me see. Oh, it was in Manhattan. Oh, it was in Manhattan. It was in New York. That's crazy. That show you how they let them motherfuckers operate right up. That show you how they operate right under the motherfucker nose. Yeah, operate right up under their nose. Man, I would have went in there and cracked every motherfucking head in there. Straight up. I would have went in there and cracked every motherfucking head. I wouldn't even ask no questions. Man, I would have went in there with a baton, man, motherfucker, everybody in that bitch would have came out holding their head. Like, what the fuck? Straight up. Yeah, straight up. Motherfuckers would have came out. You know how motherfuckers run up out of motherfuckers been running up out of that motherfucker holding the back of their head. Motherfucker have been on top of that motherfucker just like that. You see? Yeah, well, I know they saying that they had multiple. They had multiple departments operating over here. Secret police stations. But see, that's crazy because, you know, they let that one China man steal all them goddamn blueprints for all the stealth planes and shit. That's how China got the planes they got over there right now. Cause they stole a lot of damn blueprints. They let the one China man get in there. What that China? Yeah, here you go. Let me see. Yeah. An Indian-born American engineer, but he was a China. Wait a minute. Okay, North Sugar victim up by a secret B-2 bomber information, not a Chinese. Additionally, a Chinese national, Su Bin, was convicted of stealing sensitive designs for American stealth fighters. Su Bin. There you go right there. Yeah, that motherfucker, the man who stole what did he get? The man who stole America's stealth fighter secrets for China. That's sad. And y'all keep thinking this white man's so intelligent. He's sad. It's not uncommon to hear people say that China's most advanced stealth fighters, the in-service J-20, Shindu J-20, and the forthcoming Cheyenne FC-31, incorporated stolen design elements from existing American and Russian fighter programs. Okay? Yeah, this motherfucker, okay, so what are you conducting trying to steal America? Most notably the design for advanced stealth fighters like the F-22 and the F-35. So he got some of their top shit. He took some of their top shit. Yeah. Stole some of their top shit. So that's, you know, how the fuck you gonna let a motherfucker, you know, that don't make, that's dumb. Won't let a nigga get near the plane. Won't even let a nigga get near the plane. You can't even smell the exhaust, nigga, coming from the plane. You see what I'm saying? You can't even smell the exhaust coming from the plane, motherfucker. And here it is, they let this motherfucker get in there, a Chinese national, and stole the damn blueprint. That show you how dumb he is. He's an ignorant motherfucker. And I don't want nobody. But so you seeing this shit been going on. It's a war been going on between China and the United States. But I'm thinking that this rare earth minerals shit that's going on, the blocking, and let me tell you, I got it right here so y'all can see it. Matter of fact, let me go and put this in here so y'all can see what this shit can do. Hold on.
Important, but China is starting to restrict some of its export to the U.S. They're called rare earths, and they're in almost all forms of modern technology. I'm at an electronics center in Hong Kong to have this iPhone taken apart. Rare earths are in the microphone. They're in the motor that makes it vibrate. Rare earths are a group of 17 elements, mostly found across the world, but they're costly to extract and process. And they aren't just in phones. They're also in other machines like routers and printers. But what does China have to do with this? Well, according to the IEA, China controls more than 90% of the global refined output of these elements. And Beijing appears to have taken advantage of this. On April 4th, the Chinese government placed export restrictions on 7 types of rare earths as part of its retaliation against President Donald Trump's tariffs on Chinese goods.
They're weaponizing it in a trade war, is what is happening. We're using tariffs, they are using minerals.
Trump has ordered a probe to evaluate the U.S.'s own supply chain, but it will probably take years for the U.S. to catch up with China's rare earth monopoly. This phone, my phone, has
So you
small, but so
you see that.
But China,
You see that. They got a monopoly on all that shit. They got a monopoly on that shit. So what they gonna do, it's gonna be a tit for tat. They say, fuck it, we gonna cut off y'all motherfuckers oil. We gonna cut off a lot of shit. It's gonna get cold in a motherfucking minute, and y'all need that fucking oil over there. So we'll see but I'm gonna tell y'all, man, listen to what I'm telling you. You better make preparations for it. Cause it could be a cold motherfucking winter, family. You feel what I'm saying? It could be a cold winter. You better make preparations right now. This is General Setty, man. We just getting started for the night. I want y'all to click some of them links right down there in the chat, family. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Make sure. Here we go. Support the general. We're going to be black. We're going to be black, family. We're going to be black. You know, they always trying to block the general, but they can't motherfucking stop me, though. You feel me? They can't motherfucking stop me. So y'all stay tuned, and anytime I go live, be in the house. I'm liking this shit. You feel what I'm saying? I'm doing some marvelous teachings. You feel what I'm saying? And breaking this shit down for you. I'll be right black. Support the general. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Boom. Black pop.